With pick 1, Richmond have selected Sam Lawler from the GWB Rebels and the Bacchus Marsh Football and Netball Club.
An incredible, life-changing moment for this young player who plays like who other than Dustin Martin.
He does. He's a competitive beast, this boy. He is so powerful through the midfield. He extracts the ball very, very well from stoppage and drives it forward. He's also so exciting in the air. He can stand on their shoulders. He can dominate games, really influence the outcome of games, and you can see his point of difference. Some of his work this year was really eye-catching. There's that grab he takes. It reminded me of Cam Rayner, another #1 choice with that grab. So whether it's midfield or forward, he's got some special attributes.
He's got awesome power, hasn't he? When you look at his thickness through his hips and, you know, his ability to fend players off. I also like his balance and precision by foot. I think he's got a lot of AFL traits in the way he scans naturally, picks out the best option, and a lot to like, Joey.
With pick 2, North Melbourne select Finn O'Sullivan.
A really classy player, a good runner shifter, and he's been likened to the Bond, which is no easy comparison.
Well, I use it once here on someone. I call him the Rolls Royce. That's what this boy is. I say that because you've got the ability to just purr along and then lift the work rate. He can accelerate very, very quickly and get through that heavy traffic with the way he runs and cruises around the ground. He's got every trick in the book. He can stand on your shoulders. Kicks it magnificently. He was the dominant player in his 16th year. In his 17th year, he made All-Australian under-18s as a bottom ager, and then had injuries this year. Broken thumb, broken finger. Just put them off track a little bit as to whether he'd go #1 or not. But he's a special player and a great mate of Sam Lawler.
Yeah, he's the most aesthetically pleasing player to watch when you just see the way that he glides around the football field and the way he moves. As you said, he does everything really well, doesn't he, Mick? And, well, North Melbourne, they're just going to stock up on another gun midfielder.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a forward of centre type. That's what I love when you watch Finn O'Sullivan play. That's where he does his damage, and that's where he's going to really put some heat on opposition sides. He's got the ability to create space by hand as well. When you watch him just release other players and really put his teammates into dangerous positions, he's another exceptional midfield talent with a bright future.
With pick 3, Carlton select Jagger Smith.
Shifter, we've got the best ball winner in the draft headed to the Blues.
He's a ball magnet. He played 21 games this year, averaged 31 disposals. And you might say, is that against the under-18s? Well, 5 of those games were at senior level against VFL opponents. Stepped straight in at Richmond and had 3 games and got the ball straight away. So his ability to get uncanny. He's like Zach Butters for mine. He's a wiry kid that gets through the traffic so easily with his great feel for the game. He's got great vision. Sets the play up with his creative hands, and wonderful young leader as well, all these boys are, and he's a real jet, and they've got an absolute beauty, Carlton, here.
Yeah, captain of the All-Australian team, and you spoke before about Finn O'Sullivan, Shifter, of being a Rolls Royce. We've got one in the garage. Let's park a second one in there because Jagger Smith, I mean, I absolutely love this kid. I love watching him play. Just his balance and his lateral movement is elite. He's got a really nice mix of contested and uncontested type football, and no, his athletic profile is solid as well. Just over 3 seconds in a 20-metre sprint, just outside the top 10 in a 2K'er as well. So, geez, there's a lot to like about Jagger Smith, and he could have easily been pick 1 in this year's draft.
Yeah, you imagine him and Sam Walsh are going to get a stack of footy over the next 10 years. They'll rack up big numbers between them. When you look at round 9 and round 10, Shifter through the middle part of the Coates League, he had 50 disposals and 17 clearances in one game. 50 and 17 clearances. And then he just backed it up the next week with a lazy 40 disposals and 9 clearances. So he is an absolute ball magnet, but he uses it really well. And
these games are shortened games too. Yeah. They're not the full length of AFL games, so give him a little bit more time. He'll be up in the 60s.
With pick 4, Adelaide select Sid Draper.
So the Crows select the local boy, a speedy and explosive game changer. As we said before, he'll add some pace to the midfield, but most importantly, Shifter, he's ready to go. Round 1 is on the cards.
Yeah, I call him dazzling and dynamic, this boy. We've seen the vision of him earlier when we debated him. We talk about him being a wonderful leader as well. And overcome adversity. He had very bad shin splints early in the year, missed half a season, but was still able to back up in the middle of the year, play against the best players in Australia and win all Australian honours before he then had that burst of 6 or 8 games at senior level to show he was ready to go. Let's have a look at the vision. So I love the way he gets that separation out of the centre. That's his point of difference. Was really a debate, I thought, in around the top 3 or 4 for sure, in the way he presented in the last 2 years at national level.
Yeah, always on the move, always able to get himself out of trouble. And as we touch on, all of a sudden, Adelaide's midfield with Rankin probably going to spend more time in there next year and going forward, along with Draper. There's some speed and there's some talent in there as well, and they can continue to build nicely.
Yeah, I love his core strength too. Just we've seen the vision there, his ability to just bounce off opposition players, maintain that strength through the core. And what a lot of young players don't do is work defensively. Sid Draper has got this uncanny knack of just already being at that level where he's got a really nice balance of being on the front foot, attacking, hurting opposition teams, but also working hard defensively, which will hold him in really good stead in Matty Nix's team early in 2025.
With pick 5, the Brisbane Lions have selected Levi Ashcroft.
So Levi Ashcroft officially becomes a Brisbane Lion, and his CV is as good as anyone. A 3-time premiership player for the Sandringham Dragons and a dominant junior for a really long time, Shifter.
Oh, yes, Sarah. 3-time All-Australian, under 16 level dominated. He ticks the box every way. In his 17th year as a bottom major, he's All-Australian, then again this year, as well as winning the 3 premierships. So he's a real pro too. The way he prepares and recovers is at the elite level. That's why he's so consistent. Rarely plays a poor game. He's not yet 18. It's quite amazing. Not 18 until December, late in December. So he's one of the babies in this year's draft. But he's ready to run, no doubt about that. He makes great, quick decisions. That's what the game's all about, isn't it? Winning the ball, having your fundamentals right, summon the situation up quickly, and executing well. He does all of those things brilliantly.
With pick 6, Melbourne select Harvey Langford.
Langford was the joint Lark medal winner at the under-18 Carnival and certainly has the potential to come in and make an impact from day one. Shifter, we've got a tall and powerful on-baller here. Yeah,
191 centimetres. That's a point of difference with him, a left footer. I've seen he's got a bit of Scotty Pendlebury about him. It's his poise too. There's a remarkable high level of consistency. He's the best and fairest winner back at Dandenong, the MVP for Vic Country, as well as the Lark medalist. So every level he performed this year, and he has emerged. He might have been like some of the other boys, as dominantly 16th and 17th year. He was ready this year. His 18th has been absolutely brilliant in every way you look at it.
Yeah, another one out of the Mount Martha Junior Footy Club. So that's Jacob Wiedering, Lockie Whitfield, to mention a couple. It's just incredible stock coming out of that part of Victoria. It's funny, Shifter, I liken him a little bit to Jack Crisp. I love his ability to face forward. A lot of players, will take a mark and take a while to turn and see what's coming. He immediately wants to face forward. He's got really good depth by foot, and it's his ability, Joey, to get the ball to where he wants it to go at a rapid rate of knots. He really gets the ball to its target in a hurry. He's a joint Lark medalist. He's an all-round athlete, and I think he's a fantastic selection for the Melbourne Footy Club.
Yeah, he's a beautiful player. Can play inside, outside. We know he can play midfield, but he's also got some really good forward craft. So it's a great selection at Melbourne. They can probably ease him in, starting him as a half forward, and eventually work his way through the midfield.
With pick 7, Richmond select Josh Smiley.
At 195 centimetres, Josh is certainly a big-bodied mid. He models his game on Patrick Cripps, and I understand they share a management group in TGI Sports. So Patrick's actually been acting as a mentor for him, which is fabulous to have such a great and talented player being able to mould and guide you.
Oh, look, he's the Mr. Fix-It for mine. Not only is he a tall midfielder, he can go back. He has done that in the last couple of years. He can go forward as well and use his great skill set, a beautiful kick, as you point out, in those areas as well. He's a natural leader. We talked about him captain the Australian side early in the year. I'd like him when he's in the midfield with Tom Green. He's one of those, as well as Cripps. So
He's got Jack covered.
He's got Jack covered, hasn't he? Wow.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah, I'm with you, Shifter. I actually like his forward craft. I think his ability to stretch him when he does push forward, his size overhead, his ability to stand up in the tackle. He's got genuine strength. He's got range from outside 50. Look, he's a ready-made AFL product, and I'm amazed that he's got through to pick 7 in this draft.
I went to a game this year to watch the Brisbane Lions Academy. They were playing the Eastern Rangers. He was there. He was so far best on the ground. 32 kick through. You thought that's what a league player looks like. It was brilliant that day. Won their best and fairest as well.
I tell you what, they're building a powerful midfield. They've still got Taranto, Hopper. Now they're going to have Lawler, Smiley for 15 years. So it's pretty intimidating in there.
With pick 8, St Kilda select Toby Travalia.
A very impressive young man the St Kilda Football Club gain here. A versatile defender who put together a really solid 2024.
Well, he's the hard-edged beauty, this kid. Competes, intercepts brilliantly, dashes off. Won their best and fairest last year at the Pios as a bottom major ahead of Harley Reid. Not a bad little tick to have. Backed it up again this year with a fantastic year. An All-Australian player at National Championship level and right up in the best on the ground in the big decider game between Vic Country, Vic Metro. This is the way he plays. The other part I loved about him this year in the 2K time trial at the Combine, he went out like Pride and Jenny. He took off about 20 metres in front in the first lap, and so he put it all out there. Ended up second overall with a 6 minute 13 seconds. So he just laid on the line that I'm a super competitor and I'll show you what I can do at every opportunity this year, including at the Combine.
And that's what would have exactly appealed to the St Kilda Footy Club. They want guys that can run and kick. They've identified that in recent years with Darcy Wilson. And we take a look at some of the lab vision. This is what he is. He's a dasher from half back, and you can see in these clips he's getting the ball at half back, but he could get involved again at half forward. He's got similar traits to a Will Day, the way that he moves, even a bit of Trent Rivers, where he's a half back who loves to run and take the game on, but in time could probably be a midfielder. Some of the attributes he's got. Shifter, so I'm really liking this selection. He can run. It adds to what St Kilda are trying to build, and hopefully for their sake they've got a beauty.
With pick 9, Gold Coast have selected Leo Lombard.
A wonderful moment for Leo. He's crafty around goal, shifter, and explosive out of contest. Damien Hardwick's going to love him.
They're great mates, these two boys here. Remember asking Jake Rogers a number of years back, who are you coming through in the younger levels? He said Leo Lombard. This is now 3 years on. There's Leo going to join him at the Gold Coast Suns. He won the Lark medal this year. He won the Allies MVP. Had a super year. Again, athletically he's super. He's ranked first in agility, second in speed at the Combine. That's of the best kids from right round Australia. He plays with zest and courage and real personality. He's a playmaker and a leader, all of those things. And I loved there recently where he thanked his mother. The mums don't get all the raps, but she got the rap, Nikki, for the work she's done, working 3 jobs to help me do what I want to do and become a footballer. It was just so wonderful, the love that he spoke for of his mother.
Yeah, he's a competitive beast there. It's going to be a beauty. Him and Jake Rogers playing across half forward. Damien Hardwick will love it.
With pick 10, St Kilda select Alex Taru.
The bolter shifter of 2024, this high flyer who can read the play so well, likened by our own Ben Waterworth to Tom Stewart, who is such a handy player, and he's got the best nickname in the draft, the Flying Viking.
Well, he had some stunning performances in the second half of the year, this boy. He floats through the air. I like him to Mac Andrew, the Sudanese boy from up there at the Gold Coast that floats through the air. He can be at the side. He might be 3 metres off the contest and just backs himself. He was a star with a running vertical jump. It's only a small point. He's grown to 193 with a wonderful jump. He gets up there. He was first overall amongst all the boys from around Australia. And you see that in the way he plays. With that extra reach, he's able to take those marks across half-back, even at time in the midfield, at time forward late in the year. And all the clubs are talking about him. He only turned 18 just a couple of days ago. So what a birthday present for he.
Yeah, they've just paired him with his Vic Country teammate, as we see on screen, Toby Travalia, and Saints fans should be absolutely ecstatic because as a pairing, they dominated defensive 50 throughout the championships. His aerial prowess is scary and he's a high-risk, high-reward type player. Doesn't need a lot of possessions, Joey, to have a massive impact on games.
Yeah, still so raw, but potentially could be the best player to come out of this draft. The upside is there, and we just labbed up some examples. You mentioned that the Tom Stewart comparisons. There's a bit of Jake Lever or Darcy Moore, the way that he just reads the cues and can come off his man and intercept mark. In this game against Geelong Falcons, he had 17 disposals. 16 of the 17 were intercept possessions, and he took 8 intercept marks. I mean, he is an exciting machine. He can play forward as well. He did that in games, and he looked like a Nate Caddy, where his ability to be courageous in the air, launch at his marks, and Kilda have got themselves someone pretty special.